Hello and welcome back to Cooking in the Kitchen, the upstairs sessions. We're not in the kitchen as you've seen before, where we're reconnecting with people who've been on the show before, but today we're actually bringing somebody that hasn't been on the show before. Somebody I'd like to introduce you called Derek Yates Williamson. Now he came on my radar probably about a couple of months ago when my friend Jim had been doing some production with him in the studio, doing an album project. So Derek, are you there?
I am, Steve. Hi, how are you doing? You all right?
Yeah, I'm doing absolutely fine. Good to see that you've connected with us. So I thought I'd like to just touch base with you and get a little bit of your history and what you've done in the past and what music have you been up to?
Yeah, well, I've always been in bands. I've always been in bands since I was a kid, at the age of 18. Mainly, pubs and clubs, that sort of stuff. But got interested in writing about 25 years ago, and I've always written songs.
Right.
And as the years gone by, started introducing original songs to the bands that I was with and interspersed them with the covers that we were playing. And I've always had this kind of aim to put that stuff on record. I know record's not the word we use anymore, but I think
Exactly.
the word to record and to have something down, I think that's kind of what I've always wanted to do. And I've taken that time, but that's where I've ended up doing that now, you know.
That's fantastic. I mean, Jim was very encouraging about the music that you've been working on. So how did that relationship come about?
I met Jim initially in a band I was in about 15, 20 years ago called Wandered.
Okay.
We had a pretty decent following around the Northeast. And we kind of changed guitar players 2 or 3 times over the years. Initially it was Chris Gooch who ended up writing a lot of the stuff that I've written with me. There was Steve Ray, who was a fantastic guitarist. And for around about a year, as a sort of stopgap, Jim came in and brought his own very unique sort of talents to the band. And we became sort of good friends from there. Lost track of each other a little bit. And then through the wonders, the positive side of things like Facebook, got in touch with each other again. And I kind of intimated that an album was going to be made. I put a post out on Facebook, and it's something I've meant to do for years. And Jim basically said, don't wait till next year to do it. Do it immediately. Start the project now or you'll never start it, which is what had happened to me in the previous 10 years. And he basically, he came in with me and offered his help, his assistance, his guidance. And I think he knew as well that the kind of sound I was after would include the dobro and the slide and all the kind of stuff that he really liked. So we had a sort of a connection with that stuff, you know.
That's great. Now, you sent me 3 videos through, which I'm really looking forward to play out for you. But can you tell us a little bit about the first one and how you wrote that?
Yeah, and the first one, the song that I wrote with Chris Gooch around about 25 years ago now, when I was really getting into songwriting at the time. And my influences as a kid were singers. So that's the first thing I heard when I heard a song was the vocal on it. It developed later in time to listen to storytellers and writers more than that, but it was initially singers. And my dad introduced me to Otis Redding, Wilson Pickett, Sam and Dave, all those kind of people. But I took a real fascination with Sam Cooke. And as a singer, for me, still untouched, he's the greatest vocalist in my eyes. And this song is really about my fascination with Sam Cooke, but also about the very contentious way that he was killed. And the song is about that against the backdrop of the civil rights movement at the time.
Great.
And a lot of sort of black artists and people of colour sort of disappearing at that time. And the song really sort of taps into that.
Fantastic. Let's have a quick listen to it and we'll come back and we'll have a bit more of a chat.
Yes, I have. I played the jury now. Through the music, through the soul. Well, I can't let his power go now. She fired 3 shots too many. 3 shots too many. 3 shots too many. Taking silver from someone in cold, cold blood. In 1964, through the mystery, through the pain, they cleared the woman's name. I feel his presence here. Yes, I do. I hear his voice. Oh, yeah, now. And through my mystery, through my pain, well, he can lift me up again now. She fired 3 shots too many, and he's gone. 3 shots too many. 3 shots too many. Taking silver from someone. It was way down deep in South LA, a little place called the Hacienda Motel. Stole his clothes, stole his money. They took his life as well. And all he wanted, all that he dreamed of, was a change that's gonna come. And all he wanted, all that he dreamed of, was a change that's gonna come. And she fired a 1, 2, 3. 3 shots too many. She fired a 1, 2, 3. 3 shots too many. Oh, Lord, now. 3 shots too many. 3 shots too many, no. 3 shots too many. Oh, the girl, she fired 3 shots too many. And he's gone. 3 shots too many. Oh, baby, 3 shots too many. Taking silver from someone. Taking silver from someone. Taking silver from someone. Taking silver from someone.
Wow, that's absolutely fantastic. I love that. You've got a bit of gospel in there with the backing singers and the Hammond. You've got the soul vibe. You've got a bit of reggae. That music just makes me smile, man. Fantastic.
Yeah, I was very lucky. I had a vision of the song many years ago. I knew what I wanted it to sound like, but until I got in touch with and used the musicians that I was able to add to the production, we didn't really get what I wanted till now. And that's Carly McKee and Chi-Chi, who did the gospel backing vocals. I mean, what outstanding.
Yeah.
Liam Fender on keyboard, who is always brilliant. But the unseen thing that goes on in the background is long-time collaborator with me, Bill Smith on the bass, who's an absolutely superb player.
Nice.
And Malcolm Dick on drums. The two of them on that track are so tight and so good.
Yeah.
That it creates the sort of foundation for everybody else, you know.
Yeah. But you see, that's the secret, isn't it? I mean, you have a sound that's in your head. We all do as writers, and we go, we'd like it to sound like this. But then sourcing them musicians and getting it together takes a bit of effort nowadays, I believe. Certainly in the current climate, but even before this whole lockdown thing happened, just trying to pin people down to get them in the studio to bring in their sounds, you know, that's fantastic. So the next song
I was lucky with Jim to be able to make a lot of those contacts, and he was able to sort of help me in that aspect, which I'll always be grateful for, to meet those people, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense, because he's well connected with the people in the local area. Mm. So just going forward on the next song, what's this one you've got queued up for us next?
Well, if we go, I mentioned earlier about singers being a great influence, and then as I got older, I was really lucky. My dad's got a lot to answer for, because he gave me, I believe, great taste in music. But when I was a kid in the late 70s, early 80s, where everybody else was listening to people in shoulder pads and whatever, dancing about, whatever, I'm listening to Ry Cooder, John Hyatt, Little Feat, Jackson Browne. And these are the people that have really taken hold of me as the years have gone by.
Yeah.
So there is an Americana thread that runs through this album, and this song is kind of a nod to that Laurel Canyon era of the 70s with the likes of Jackson Browne, the Eagles, James Taylor, those sort of people. And I was able, an absolute find, was able to enlist the help of Niall Krieger on fiddle and on mandolin for this track. And he helped me elevate this to where I want it to be as well, you know.
He definitely has a sound that he's brought to the Northeast. We're so lucky to have him over here that he's left his native land to come to the Northeast, which I think is fantastic, because he's certainly ended up on a lot of our projects, which is brilliant, because he brings a specific flavour, and that's what we were just talking about earlier. You know, we have sounds in our heads that we've heard from the records that we've listened over the years as influences, and to be able to get people that bring that sort of standard, we've got a great standard of musicianship in the Northeast, a great pool of people, which I think...
absolutely. It's been an honour working with the people I have worked with on this project. It really has been. I'm like a kid in a sweet shop, and I'm sitting in the studio with all these people. It's fantastic, you know.
I can imagine. Right, introduce the next song then, and then we'll take it away.
This song is called Inspiration.
Excellent.
The
Great one. Another classic there. Brilliant. And obviously you can hear Niles ringing out there. Lovely. It's a lovely fresh sound. I like the sound that you have. I love your voice, like.
Oh, thanks very much. As a kid, I had people referencing Paul Young and people like that in the 80s when I was younger, which was nice then, but he's lost his voice. I've kept mine, so I don't want to follow that route. But no, that's very kind of you. Thank you.
Yeah. So what's the plan coming up then? So you've got your project. I mean, obviously we're in lockdown mode, so it's a good time to make videos and get the distribution and thing in place. But obviously the gigging's not happening at the moment. But you got plenty on to keep the thing going?
Yeah, I mean, you can probably tell looking at the videos, but I've downloaded all sorts of packages and editing things to work on my iPad. And I think sitting locked up as we are at the moment, it's given me an opportunity just to mess around with stuff. And you know, whether it's through Facebook or YouTube or whatever, we're able to get these things out, you know.
Yeah.
They're not polished and they're not the best, but I think they do a job. And certainly we've had a good response to them. We did have a plan. There was a plan with this album, which was to have a launch gig, which was going to feature all the musicians on the album. So, you know, Liam, Chichi and Carly and Pat Rafferty plays accordion on one of the tracks as well, which is a lovely track. And we're basically going to get all my band together. Canyon Fire's the band that I'm in. That's Bill Smith, Malcolm Dick, and Steve Ray, and obviously Jim as well. And Niles, and we were going to have this great big night where we're going to do the whole thing, and it was going to be the whole album live on stage, and maybe an extra couple of songs thrown in. That was the plan, but obviously things have taken over. But I still think that will happen.
Yeah.
That was going to be the release of the album. But I think what we decided is we've had quite a lot of goodwill on the back of the videos, and a lot of sort of interest in what we're doing. So the idea is not to lose that goodwill and get the stuff out there now. So the distributors that I'm using for this, we anticipate having it ready for sort of mid-June to the end of June, sometime in that sort of 2-week window. So we're releasing it then, and we just see where that takes us. But the gig will happen whether people turn up or want to or not. I want to be on stage with all those musicians and playing those songs live, because I think it'll be a great experience, you know.
That's how you complete the project. Obviously, you have to get it out to the public, and however you get it out there, obviously live performance is key. But something you mentioned earlier about downloading all the video stuff and you're getting on there and learning things. I mean, one thing this lockdown has done for all of us as musicians, and I mentioned it on last week's show, is it allows us to reinvent ourselves, because we've got to find ways to still connect with them audiences and find new people who want to follow the music and things like that. So that's brilliant. So we've got one more song left. Give us a little bit of info on this, the last song that's coming in, and then we'll play that.
This is the title track of the album, and it was the last song that we wrote, almost by accident. And the more I hear of people doing albums and producing stuff, often the one that just turns up later on ends up being the one that you like the most. I'm not saying it's the best track on it, but the one that all the band kind of agreed would be a good introduction and a good title for the album as well. So yeah, that's where it's come. It's quite a serious subject. It's about coping with sort of a situation where you feel helpless. But I particularly like this song for many reasons. But there's a really quirky, lovely solo by Steve Ray in the middle of it, which again, I thought the song's being elevated by something else that adds to it. I love his little solo that he plays in this. It really is nice.
Great. Well, listen, thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming in through the wizardry of the internet. Great talking to you, and great to meet you, actually, because it's our first time communicating like this. So we'll finish off with thanks, man. And we'll finish off with the final track, and it's called Ghost. Hope you enjoy it. And I hope to meet you sometime in the future.
Thank you. Thanks again, Steve.
Take care now.
many doors, but none of them are open. I can't seem to find that shaft of light, something to hang my hopes on. Heaven knows I'm losing sleep like sand through my fingers. The constant itch of helplessness forever seems to linger. Oh, and I just wanna fix it all for those I know I love the most, but I just float around the edges. I'm a ghost. When I try to talk to you, you can't hear a single word. The silence, man, is killing me. It's so lonely not to be heard. And I wonder if you can see me when I walk into your room. 'Cause your eyes, they look right through me, even though I can't see you. Oh, and I just wanna fix it all for those I know I love the most, but I just float around the edges. I just feel like I'm a ghost. Oh, and I just wanna fix it all for those I know I love the most, but I just float around the edges. And I just wanna fix it all for those I know I love the most, but I just float around the edges. And I just wanna fix it all for those I know I love the most, but I just float around the edges. 'Cause I said
Right.
I'm a ghost inside. You can see right through me. It's too easy. I'm a ghost, and you can't see